Welcome back to a video. Today where we'll be going through and ranking every single Terror Club member on in Lord of the Mysteries. Uh, Before, if anyone doesn't know what Lord of the Mystery is, Lord of the Mystery is a Chinese web novel that basically I reviewed a year ago. I started reviewing a year ago. That it's been a year since I did that, and like those were the like how I started my channel. Since it's been like a year it's been exactly around a year since I started uploading videos. I thought, why not do a 1 year special, 1 year anniversary special around this time. I know it's late. I don't exactly remember when I uploaded my official first ever video, but I mean, I'm close, so why not do it? Now, a few things before I start ranking these characters. Number one, I will be only ranking the Terror Club members, no character else. Even though you can see more characters than they were in the Terror Club, I will not be ranking them. Number two, I will only be ranking Klein's identities once. Not all of the Klein's identities will I be ranking, or I might rank them if I have the time, but at first I will only do the Terror Club members as this 1 year anniversary. So I just wanted to let you guys, just wanted everyone to be know that this is what I will be doing. Now let's begin. And now on to number one, Klein himself. This guy. This guy is Klein. He is basically the main character of the novel. Those that do not know the novel, in my opinion, he's like between A and B rank. Like, although I will rank him A, he is a good character. Like, he's a funny character. He's relatable. He's fun to read. He's interesting, and like as a character, there isn't much I can take away from him. However, I will say that due to he is a static character that like from beginning to the end, his values aren't changed. Like one of the biggest things I dislike about him as a main character is that he doesn't like develop as much, which isn't that big of a problem, but that does sort of bring him down as a character itself. Mm, Basically, he isn't really challenged in his ideals by anyone. He isn't really fails in the sense that like what his objectives failed and he is unable to able to accomplish them, except maybe one instance. Other than that, he always accomplishes his goals in one way or another, or at least gains a sort of advantage while doing those things. So that is why I selected him as the guy. That's why I gave him A or B. Like, if I was ranking him, he would probably be between A or B as such. Now, on to our next character, also known as Audrey Hall. She was one of the founding members of the Terror Club and is like I would say almost like the second most important character in the book because after Klein, she is the one that appears the most. I will rank her B. Once again, she's a bit like Klein. Like her character is interesting, has funny moments, like is compelling enough. Is although it isn't relatable because like she's filthy rich in the books. However, I will say she's a fun character. But, but what brings her down is once again what brings Klein down. Like she doesn't do much in the grand scheme of things. Like with how much she appears, her character development isn't like something I would say that is interesting. Like, it happens a lot of her character development happens off screen. Like she does develop somewhat, but like it's off screen, and so you don't really see her how she changes. You just see her at the beginning, and then after she's already changed somewhat. Like, and even then, it's not a lot. she just becomes someone who's already so talented, so skilled. This is one more thing that I did dislike about Klein as well, is because like he's just talented, he's smart, he's like everything he needs to be to just accomplish a lot of the stuff in the game in the in order to advance. This is one of the things that I did dislike about Klein, and Audrey is somewhat the same in that regard. Now, on to the next character. Our next character is Alger Wilson. Alger, once again, is an interesting character, funny character. Like, a lot of the characters are fun to read through in a lot of mysteries. Like, one of the things that I do say that it's in a web novel, in the context of a web novel, Alger Wilson is, I would say, a very good character. LOTM does this very well in the context of web novels. If you're comparing it to other web novels, the characters themselves are really, really good. Like, really, really good. I really like them, and that is why I would say I would rank him B. Um, these aren't really. If before I continue and saying why I've ranked B, Alger B, these aren't really like. Mm, I won't be saying that she's a better character than Alger. I'm just ranking them rather than this. She is B1, he's B2, B3, B4. These aren't really like numbered, if you know what I mean. Now, the reason why I find Alger, well, put Alger B, is while he's B, my biggest problem was that he didn't do much in the story itself. Like, he doesn't appear as much as you expect him. Like, he's another founding member of the Terror Club, and again one of the oldest like from since volume one. Like, he's probably appeared a lot, yet he doesn't do all that much on screen in the book. Like, you rarely see him do anything. Like, he has a part with when he's sort of there with Klein working together in an adventure, which is fun, yet again doesn't do much in the story. That is one of my biggest problems with LOTM, is that like they have so many characters, so many interesting characters, yet they don't do much with them. The author Cuttlefish doesn't do much with them, to be honest, which does bring them a lot of characters down, in my opinion. Now, one character I would say is that I really like and actually we see develop throughout the story is this guy Derek. He is, in my opinion, one of the better characters in a lot of the mysteries, and like one of the best characters, one of the best character members. Because like, although he isn't a founding member like these three are of the Chart Club, he is also one of the older members, and the youngest member, in the sense that like age-wise he's the youngest, but seniority-wise he's like the fourth oldest, and like it is one of the characters that we do actually see sort of grow throughout the novel, and like his part of his arc is really good in my opinion. From the scared little boy to the leader his people need him to be, even though like he's supposed to be what, like 14 at the beginning of the series, and like at the end he's like 16 or 18. I don't exactly remember his age. We aren't really told how what his age is at the end, but like he is properly a great character, fun to read. I won't say relatable, because like he killed his parents, and I don't think any of us have to kill our parents and pray to God to give us the powers of the sun. But like in my opinion, he's one of the better characters. It's in LOTM, and one of the best written character members in the book. This is once again I will be only doing book one characters, not book two characters. These are all book one characters. Now, this may be a controversial opinion what I'm going to be saying next, but and this may prove to be a bit more disliked. But I, Forrest Wall, I do not like her as a character. Like, she is going to be our first character ranked D. I'll tell you why I'll be ranking D. Like, because like it's tier list ranking videos, I have to sort of put one in the highest and in the lowest section. I'll say why I dislike her. Like, if we're going by how much she appears, like, for some reason, even more than she appears more than Algar, the guy who was introduced in Volume One. Yes, he was also introduced in Volume One as well, but like for some reason, after Volume One, her appearances started to increase again and again and again and again and again. However, one of the biggest problems I have with Forrest as a character is that unlike these people, except Hein, he's a bit of static, but he himself also changes. That all of these characters have a goal, sort of they want wish to accomplish, and sort of change throughout the story. She does not. She is a lazy writer that does not wish to work and wants to laze around the day at the start of the novel, and she is the same at the end of the novel. Like, she is a lazy person that does not want to do any work and lazes around, wants to laze around in the apartment, in her apartment, doing no work. She is like one of those characters is that just did not change throughout the story. Like, it wouldn't have mattered to me that much if if she was more of a like m- more secondary character that didn't appear much, but the amount of times we get her perspective, yet she has no goal to work towards. Like, sh it was infuriating. Like, almost every single character member had something they wish to accomplish and went about completing that work or changed as people, developed as characters. Yet she just does not change. She does not do anything. Like, there is no significance of having her. You could have changed, like, her with all of these characters, like, except these guys here. Like, you could have given her powers and her background to anyone, and like her powers to anyone, and like I would say nothing itself would change uh, in the story, like, because there is nothing unique that her character does. Of course, she does one thing at the end because of her background, but like it was basically far too rushed for me to like that ending. It's like, I know people like her because she's a woman and she's a power, uh, but like her as a character itself, she's like one of the most useless characters in the story. Like, I don't say useless because she does do things, but like as a character itself, she's just one of the worst there is. She doesn't do. She just doesn't develop. She has no goal to accomplish. She's just there. Like, the amount of times she appears, he could have used more screen time than she had. It's like there is no goal. Like, one of her friends, Joe, she could have used that amount of screen time to develop her goal. She had a more compelling goal, interesting goal, more interesting character than this Forrest, and yet author liked her more than and uploaded them with it. Now on to the next character. Sorry if I'm a bit lower voice today. Uh, I have been uploading a bit later, but anyway. Now on to our next character, Emlyn White. He'll be our first C rank character. Once again, the reason I'm putting him Emlyn above Forge is because, like, at least he has a goal and develops as a character, even though he doesn't appear much, and like is one of those characters that, like, although he appears, all like he has a few appearances because like he was introduced in Volume 2, I believe, but like he isn't as he doesn't appear as commonly as these other characters before him, which does bring him down a bit. However, he has a goal. He develops as a character, and like he, in my opinion, if he had appeared a bit more, I would have probably ranked him in A rank or B rank, like high B rank, or like a bit below Klein as a character. Like, because he's fun, he's a funny character. He's sort of the I would say a comedic character in the book, but like he's interesting enough to remember as a Tarot Club member, which I can't say for the next characters that I might be ranking. Catalea, once again, she's sort of like, I would say, another C rank character in my opinion. She appear First of all, I would say is that like she is one of those characters that because of her later appearance in the book, we didn't really get to know her all that much, and since since she starts as a hostile to the character, I mean, that does show a lot of readers' opinion for her as a character. However, I would say she's interesting. She has a goal she wants to accomplish, and at least she has like something that she brings to the Tarot Club, rather than just being there lazy and mm, you know having the author have to create something mid story for her to be useful for. Mm, well, unlike Forge, who is just there. She, but one of the biggest problem is she doesn't really appear as much as you would need as a important supporting character to be rememberable. She's one of the more characters that is usually forgotten. Like one of the characters I usually forget about because of how little she appears outside of the Tarot Club meetings. And even in the Tarot Club meetings, she doesn't too much. Like at the start, she barely speaks, and after a while, when she does get start to speaking in them, she doesn't really do all the things that are meaningful. The next character is Jo. As I was talking about before, first she is also more of a C rank character, more of a, I would say, D rank character in a sense that one of the it isn't her fault, but she's probably the character that joins the attack of the latest, and like also introduced. She is introduced in like around late ends of volume 1 or 2, and yet like doesn't have much screen time until she joins the Tarot Club members, which is like very 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 late in the story, and once again doesn't do much. However, I would rank her above Force. That's why I'm putting her in rank 3, because like at least her backstory, her character, her goals are interesting enough, that you actually do say that she has a potential to be a good character. Like if the Cuttlefish gave all the time that he gave for us to show, I would act and developed her. I would have to have put her in S rank, because like her story is really interesting, man. And like the way she ends her develop sort of could I would say that her development could have been interesting if the time was given for her as a character, the screen time. Now our last character, and a bit of a spoiler for anyone who has only watched volume 1 anime and only read till around like the starting 3 volumes, please skip off this video, because like this is one more of a big spoilers of who is joining the Tarot Club, and I'll after you guys gone. Now people that haven't watched it have clicked out this video. I hope I'll be going for the last Tarot Club members who joins around the same time as Joe. However, has been introduced since volume 1. Like all of these characters were except Emmeline and Catalea were introduced in volume 1 in a sort of. And Leonard, I would say Leonard Mitchell is around A rank, because like his character itself is also interesting. We get time to see him develop as a character, going from a bank. He's interesting enough. He's memorable enough, and he's you know compelling enough to say that he's a A rank character. Uh, and like his sort of lack of screen time between volume 2 and like till he joins is a bit of a letdown. However, I would say he still remains as an interesting character, because like there are some snippets of him during all of this. Like we do get his thoughts, his emotions, why he thinks what he thinks, and how that he's special in a way of his own. That's why I would say he's a rank A character in terms of character, Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I hope I'll see you next time. Peace.